Is anybody out there still actually buying DVDs? Hey everyone, so I'm back with some more pickups, and I actually have a wide variety of stuff here to get to, so let's get to what I got. So first up, as you can tell by that sort of beginning part of my video, I did actually buy some more DVDs. Now, I considered many times actually just stop buying DVDs anymore and just maybe buy Blu-rays. But there are still lots of things on DVD that are very affordable that either has not come out on Blu-ray yet or is available on Blu-ray, but it's pretty expensive, so I just don't see myself buying them anytime soon. But I actually got these from a video rental store because those still exist. I got these from a video rental store that I still rent stuff at pretty frequently. It's called Queen Video. They used to have a couple locations here in Toronto, but they closed down all of their other locations, including their main location, which was on Queen Street, and now their only location that's left is on Bloor. But they do still have a lot of DVDs that you can buy. Tons of stuff they put in their 3 for $10 section, but they also have other things that are sort of just like loose discs for $2.99, or even newer movies for like $20, approximately $20 each. But I got these 3 here for $10. I'm very happy with what I found. First is Rooster Teeth's Laser Team. I've not actually seen this yet, and I could probably see it for free somewhere online, but I thought, sure, let's grab a copy of that. Now, I've only heard bad reviews for this, so we're gonna have to see how that works out. But the other 2 DVDs I got, I'm definitely more interested in actually watching these. First here of these 2 is Lights Out, and this was actually specifically mentioned as being a rental release, so that's kind of weird. But yeah, I wanted to see this movie because it looked somewhat creepy from the trailers, but I never actually got around to seeing it while it was in theaters, so I just had to wait for it to actually be released on DVD and Blu-ray. And the last DVD that I got, I was actually really surprised that this was in this section, because usually TV shows are priced at like $5.99 or more per season. This one here is Code Geass Lelouch of the Rebellion R2. It's the second part of Code Geass, and I have never watched the second part of the series in its entirety, so I'm very happy to finally be able to watch the whole thing. I already know more or less what happens at the end of it. I've just missed out on a couple episodes sort of filling in the gaps of the story. But I think I heard that there's going to be another series or another season of this show, so I should probably get back and try to finish watching that. Moving on from there are some Transformers that I got. Now, I actually found a couple of older Transformers, but I also bought a brand new one. I bought it, but it was, I think, about a year or 2 years old. It's not from like some new set or anything, but it is still fairly recent. It is from Transformers Generations Titans Return. And this one here is Blunderbuss and Broadside. What pretty much drew me to this was that it's a triple changer, and it turns into an aircraft carrier, robot mode, and then it also turns into a jet. Now, I don't care for the jet mode, and the aircraft carrier is kind of lame. But the robot mode I did like a lot, so that's what I have it in right now. I do very much so enjoy the look of this here, even though I don't really care for the Titan Master gimmick where their heads turn into like little mini robots. Don't really care for that, but in my opinion it is a fairly decent robot mode. I just don't care for the way that the weapon looks because it has to accommodate the Headmaster as well while this is in vehicle mode, so kind of sucks, but still fairly decent robot mode. The only sort of downside I might add to this figure is that the way that the stickers are applied to it kind of sucky. Like, they really did not apply them that well, and I don't understand why they wouldn't just either paint it or leave no paint, or maybe even just have the sticker sheet and you apply the stickers yourself, because definitely the way that they applied them, not really good and can peel off very easily. Moving on to the older Transformers that I got, definitely much more exciting. I don't know the exact sets these came from, but I know their names at least, so hopefully that can help you guys find more information on these. This one here is Skybyte, and I have a version of this that came out during Transformers Robots in Disguise. This is him here. He's basically, I think he's supposed to be a great white shark, but he's obviously mostly blue. He comes with everything, and I got this from Buy and Sell Kings for $5. Actually, I think it might have been $6. But it was still in great condition and comes with everything except for his missile in the back of his tail fin there. But still very nice. I'd seen this in someone's video on YouTube recently, and it just sort of caught my attention, but I'm just forgetting whose video that was right now. But still very nice figure there. Next one, this one I think is from Transformers Reveal the Shield. I think that was the name of this series of toys. It is Rodimus. It is technically Hot Rod. It looks like Hot Rod, but the name that he's listed as is Rodimus, and I think it's because pretty much throughout the 2000s, all the Hot Rod toys were renamed to sort of Rodimus. I suppose the only reason why I can think of that being a thing is because then we got Hot Shot, and then you can't really have Hot Shot and Hot Rod both existing at the same time. Like, just their names together would sound weird. So maybe that's why they went with just calling him Rodimus as an homage to like Rodimus Prime, but who knows really. And for this one here, the only thing that I had missing from him was the missile, again from his rocket launcher thing there. But otherwise he's in very good condition, and this one cost $4.99, so that was a decent price as well. Now the last Transformer that I got, this one's the largest one that I got. It is missing the missiles as well, but otherwise all the pieces are there. It's in really good condition. It was a little bit dirty, but I did clean it up, and it is Rampage from Transformers Beast Wars. It's the Transmetals Rampage, and it is in very good condition, and this just cost me $10. I definitely think that $10 is an amazing price for this Transformer. Now, I just wish I knew how to transform him exactly, because he does have this like rubber tread here as well, because he's supposed to have a robot mode, a sort of semi-vehicle mode, and then his like beast mode that he's currently in. But I have no idea, because this one here is actually very complicated to transform. So I'm just going to leave him in his crap mode as he currently is in. Moving on from those Transformers, I have some video games that I actually got. And yep, big surprise, I did buy some video games, and I bought a whole bunch of games here too. Nothing old really, all these are pretty much current and last gen games. First up is a Nintendo Selects version of Mario Super Slugger for the Wii. I surprisingly did not have this game yet, but it is just baseball with Mario. I wonder if there's anything interesting or different to this than what you would get with, say, most other baseball games on the Wii. But it does look like it might have some kind of challenge mode with like different aspects to it. Something different than just plain baseball. Next game that I got is a 360 game, which I decided to stop collecting for. I stopped collecting 360 games. I haven't been buying too many. In fact, I think over the last few months I've only bought like 2 360 games. The one game was Tomb Raider, which you'll see in another video, but this game here I got it just because of the story behind it, behind its production, and its ultimate fate pretty much. It is Too Human for the 360. This game here had a very long development cycle. I think it took like 10 years for it to actually come out. It was supposed to be initially developed for the PS1, then it kept transferring on to different consoles. I think it was supposed to be on the GameCube at some point as well, but then it ended up being developed for the 360 and ultimately released on the 360. And it was a flop. Not that many people actually played it, and then there was this whole lawsuit between Silicon Knights and the people who make the Unreal Engine. I don't know the exact details of that, but pretty much it led to a court decision to have all copies of this game destroyed. So the fact that I even found this was just really strange, considering that they should not even exist anymore. But I suppose what happened is somebody had this game, traded it in after most of the copies were destroyed at different retail stores, and somehow it's just lasted throughout the last few years. But now it's in my collection and it's just gonna stay there on the shelf. I don't think I'm actually ever gonna get around to playing this game. Next two games that I got are some PS4 games that I found pretty interesting. The thing that I like about the PS4 is that there are a lot of indie games that are in the $20 to $30 price point, and when you find used copies of these games, they're usually under 20 bucks, and in fact I got these two for $13 each. First game is Infinifactory, and the other game is Zombie Vikings. Now this here I think is just a co-op beat-em-up, if I remember correctly, just like a co-op action game. This one here though is a puzzle game, and I haven't had the time to play either of these yet, but definitely between the two of these I think I'm more excited for Infinifactory. But I'm still very excited for a lot of these smaller releases that most people aren't typically aware of. They are still decent games for the most part. Like, I suppose these games can compete with like AAA releases, but not everybody's in the market for a AAA release. Sometimes people do want different and interesting games as well. The last game that I got here is a game in a series that, well, I've been trying to get into the series for many years, and I've tried on many separate occasions to get into it, but I've always been faced with different issues and different games, that is, in this series. When I tried playing one of the games on the 3DS, I just really could not understand what the hell I was supposed to do in the game, and I just gave up, and I've never actually played that game ever again since then. This one here is an HD remake of the first game, I believe, and then it also has some other things added from a couple of later games as well. It is Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix. This one here is the special edition. I think there were two versions of it. I think this is actually maybe the limited edition, and then there's another larger edition that came with a couple of extras. This one here is basically just a slipcover and an art book with the game inside the art book itself right there. And it just has some interesting artwork included in here, as well as some concept art, I suppose. It's just this art book on the inside of this slipcover. But yeah, very happy to find that as well. It was just, I want to say $14, $15 for this one here. Might have been a little bit cheaper than that, but I threw out the receipt, so I don't really remember. But I did want to find this because I am looking for a bunch of special edition games that were released on the PS3. Still collecting for the PS3, but at this point I've pretty much slowed down on 360 collecting. I think I might have just stopped collecting for the 360 altogether. But I'll see, there are still a few games that I'm still trying to get, including Tales of Vesperia, the special edition of that I'm still looking for. But otherwise there really isn't anything else for the 360 that I do want to buy. That's it. As always, leave comments in the comment section below. Anything you'd like to say, comments, questions, suggestions, ideas, anything at all, just put it in the comment section below and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Check out my Facebook, Twitter, and website. They're all linked in the description below. And also linked in the description below is a link to my 500 subscribers contest. Check that out as well if you'd like. And that's it. See ya.